Hey guys, we're the Hard Time Shaman podcast, string of a bear class of man, and today we are continuing our battle drills series because we didn't do this before for a while first. I don't know why. Today we're going over battle drills 4 through 6. References for today, ATP 3-21.8, Infantry Platoon and Squad, Appendix J, and TC 3-21.76, good old Ranger Handbook.
Yep.
And, our memories, because this is what we were expected to do for a while. So this class is based off of the doctrinal Ranger Handbook. We are going to throw our tidbits in there. You probably learned a lot of different stuff than we did. Don't get mad at us. Get mad at whoever taught you wrong. Or, get mad at us for not doing the right thing. Whatever. I don't care. But this stuff that you should be doing anyways.
Above all else, go thank your recruiter.
That was cold. That was cold. That was messed up. Some deep
what I'm
wounds.
Here for, man.
Some deep wounds just opened up. So,
I know.
Battle drills 4 through 6. Battle drill 4, react to ambush. Battle drill 5, knock out a bunker. And Battle drill 6, enter and clear a room. If you existed when, all the good old gun tubers and, vet bros and everything, were in their prime, what Battle drill 6 is. But we won't sell you snake oil. We'll swear the infantryman's Bible, the Ranger Handbook.
You mentioned Battle Drill 6, and I think half of our audience just got hard.
Could feel it's like we synced up. We are, and I can't stress this enough. Not a kids podcast. I think I likes to prove it.
That is true. That is very
Battle
true.
Drill 4. Battle Drill 4. React to near ambush. Pretty sure it's a lot of stuff will transfer over for far ambush, but whatever. React to ambush. God help you. Before we just get into this,
I
actually think Battle Drill 4 worst of the worst.
Yeah, I think Battle Drill 4 is actually the most terrifying thing ever.
Wait,
followed quickly.
We're about to talk about it, but screw this.
Yeah. Yeah. This sucks. If you're in this situation, life is sucking right now.
You hate your life.
The way that this could suck any less is if you're getting shot like mortars or rockets at you. Like you're reacting to IDF. That is
reacting to ambush. Oh, Dio mi vida. I hate my life. Like, no way.
But this is by far the worst situation to ever find yourself in, for sure.
So, let's get into it. Situation.
It's probably the most fun practice, though. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just murder. Like, it's great.
Spendex.
Murder, death, kill. So your unit is moving. All the friendlies are moving. They're conducting operations, doing their thing. When the enemy initiates contact with direct fire within hand grenade range, all or part of the unit, all or part of your friendlies are receiving accurate enemy direct fire. Your enemy initiates contact within hand grenade distance. Actions. What were you gonna say?
That is a hard cue. That is actually the difference between an ambush, a near ambush, and a far ambush. I hate to say it. I hate to be the stickler. Hand grenade range.
And what's hand grenade range?
How far you can throw the hand grenade.
Thank you. That's the right answer. However far you can throw. I think doctrinally it's like 15 meters.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the actual doctrine, but I know it's like how far you can throw a grenade.
I was gonna say I watched a lot of fatherless kids try to throw a grenade in basic, and that'll vary. If your dad teach your kid how to throw a baseball, please.
Oh my god! Well, the way they taught you how to throw a hand grenade in basic training was garbage. It was terrible.
Nobody
throws it like that. Nobody throws it like that. But yes, you're right. Dads.
Yeah.
Teach your kids how to throw baseball.
Seriously, or go to your nearest surplus store, get one of those decommissioned frags, and teach them how to throw that. Get that muscle memory built in.
They're actually a lot heavier than I thought they were.
Oh, dude, wicked heavy. Yeah, that was the weirdest thing for me. I was like, what the hell is going on? Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway,
So actions when dismounted. All right, so dismounted, you're not a vehicle or anything. So everybody in the kill zone shouldn't need an order or a signal. This is a battle drill. You should know how to do this already, right? Everyone in the kill zone immediately returns fire on known or suspected enemy positions, and they assault through the kill zone.
there's no need for
It-
talking guns here, folks. You just fire. Your
this is
job is to
called a
get the hell out
spendex.
of there.
This is
Yes.
called a spendex, and we're gonna get into the the doctrinal wording all of this. But spoilers, you shouldn't have a lot of ammo after this. You're spendexing. If you have grenades, you're
No.
wrong. Get rid of your grenades. You're in hand grenade distance, right?
Yep.
Your frags, your stuns, your concuss, your smoke, everything.
Throw
Because the
it.
whole thing is, if
Throw it.
you're dead, you're not going to use it anymore.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for your ammo. Hit that blessed third click and just go to town because you're
Yes.
in the worst of the worst situations right now. So
Your one and only
get
job is to get out of there alive.
you remember the end of Halo Reach?
Yeah, I was about to
Sur-
mention that where the only thing was this just
survive.
survive. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what you're doing
that's
here.
what react to ambushes. Or your friendlies in the kill zone immediately without war or signal. Return fire on known or suspected enemy's position. Seek cover. Throw all your grenades and assault through the kill zone. Like we said, don't worry about assaulting through. I know it's scary, but if you don't assault through, you're gonna die anyways. There's no point
Yeah,
in dying in a hole. Get after it.
yeah,
Fix bayonets, baby. It's go time. We ride at dawn, which is right now.
yeah, yep. And he's not saying don't worry about it as in don't do it. He's saying don't worry about it because you're probably dead. So take as many of those mother effers with you as you can. Thing.
Yeah, I know that the human response is to not run towards the loud, scary light thing. But you're either that or they're gonna assault through you and you're gonna die.
Yeah.
So
You know, newsflash, you're also carrying a loud, flashy assault thing.
be
Use it
louder
on
and
them.
angrier.
Yes.
Speed, surprise,
Yes.
violence of action, violence of action, violence of action. Get after it, baby. Friend, friendlies,
I
not in the
actually
kill
like to
zone. If what?
I actually like to call it not violence of action, but overwhelming violence of action. Like
Yes,
this
be
is where
violent.
war crimes need to be done in these few precious seconds.
If you have a war crime stick, use it.
Yes. Yes. Slam fire that thing.
So if you're not in the kill zone, all right, if you're not fighting fighting for your life down there, uh, you're going to ride well aimed suppressive fire on the enemy. So your guys are in the worst of the worst situation right now. Help them out.
Yes.
You have a better a better field, a better view of what's going on. Start taking those. Start taking them down. I'm trying not to swear, but I really love this battle drill. This one's so much fun.
I
Um,
love Battlefield 4.
And the last thing, your unit, all your friendlies assault through the kill zone and you destroy the enemy. Once again, as in, the second battle drill, everything should be dead. Everything. Assault through.
I will say this. I'm going to emphasize this. As a civilian, the Geneva suggestions do not apply to you. You cannot be held to the Geneva suggestions. Only if you're in the military does that apply to you. If you're a civilian and you're assaulting through, triple tap.
Everything.
In fact, go back and triple tap them again.
So the whole thing a with an ambush. Okay, think about it from the enemy's perspective. Okay. You are trying to fix and destroy the enemy. So superior positioning, overwhelming, fire superiority. You're trying to make sure they can't move and then just mincemeat everything in there.
Mhm.
The only way you're going to beat that, because you're not going to outlast an ambush. You won't. You
You
won't.
won't.
That's what
Nope.
it's designed for. That's what they want you to do. You will be destroyed. What you need to do, the only thing you can do in ambush is assault through it. Be more violent. Have more overwhelming fire superiority and breakthrough. If you don't break out of the kill zone, you're done. Period.
The important thing to remember also is if there's an ambush, chances are the enemies have actually scouted that location and they have cherry picked it because there is no cover. There may be concealment, but there is no cover. So there's not going to be anything to stop those rounds from giving you lead poisoning. Like
Well, and the thing
you
is,
need
if
to
you're
get out of there.
well, and depending on if it's a hasty or deliberate, if it's deliberate, like all those gun teams, everybody has a range card. They have you dialed in,
Yes.
like to a T. If
Yep.
it's a hasty, they at least have better positioning than you do.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, get after it.
Mounted.
Contingency rather with this is mounted. Yeah, so vehicles. So if you're in a vehicle, so your gunners open fire on known or suspected enemy targets, deploy smoke as vehicles, move out of the kill zone. Read, get out of the kill zone, get out of the kill zone. And then friendlies in the kill zone. In disabled vehicles, immediately dismount, find cover, engage the enemy. Gunners and friendlies outside the kill zone suppress the enemy. And once again, you are assaulting through the kill zone and destroying the enemy, or you die.
I like to call this battle drill the around and find out battle drill
Yep.
because those that are ambushing you are around and it's your job to make them find out.
There's
So do
nothing
it.
I liked. There's nothing I liked more as a 240 gunner than being in a deliberate ambush. Because literally, I could set my T&E to my left, to my right. I knew that anything in there was fair game, and I could just go cyclic and just burn through the hundreds of rounds I was having to carry because I didn't want to carry them
Oh,
anymore. So yeah, there was
bro,
nothing I liked better as a machine gunner. Like, and
tell me about
anything
it.
in there was going to be dead. Anything.
As a saw gunner?
Oh, dude, I get to get rid of all these nutsacks. Like, bye.
Oh my god. I didn't carry nutsacks, bro. They were straight up like 100 plus round drums. And I
So
would
I
just,
would,
you know what? I'm going cyclic.
well, and I wasn't a saw gunner for long, but I had my, what I carried was a nutsack, and then I had the two, the two drums on my chest.
Yeah, we
But yeah, no, sucks to suck,
going
nerd.
going into deployment, we did not carry nutsacks. There was no point.
Yeah.
Like, just no point. If you're gonna get
'Cause
engaged,
if you
you
had
want
to,
that
I was gonna
drum.
say, if you had to use it, like you're using the drum. So,
100%.
well,
Yeah,
the thing
no, that
is,
was
like,
oh,
oh, dude,
so fun.
bless his heart, my weasel, he was my favorite guy in the world, my weapon squad leader. But he made us work because his whole
Mhm.
mentality was, if you're in weapon squad, you're the best out of the platoon. If you're gonna be with
Yep.
me, and then like once I got to be an assistant gunner, a team leader in the weapon squad, dude, there were times where I was carrying 600 plus rounds. Like
Yeah,
I would use the barrel bag. And I would just roll them all in there. And I throw that thing on my, oh, dude, so much weight.
it
So like I tell
sucks.
my gunner whenever we set in, I'm like, look at me. We're not coming back with this. And yeah. So all that to say,
Yes.
you're in the worst possible situation. If you are in a kill zone, you are, yeah, be anywhere else but there.
Yeah,
Get out.
be anywhere but there. Yeah, and that's the important thing too, we were talking about with vehicles, your job is to get the hell out of there. You don't stick around to engage them. You engage them as you were driving away at Mach Jesus.
So, and as you're moving away, you're not abandoning your dudes, right? You're getting to a better position, so you can be firing on the ambush. And
Yes.
then once you get fire superiority, do the same exact thing that we've been talking about. Shift and lift fire, assault through, do all the things that you already know how to do, but
Mhm.
you need to get that fire superiority, you need to assault through. So
And best case scenario, even if there is a, disabled vehicle, I mean, those other folks are getting to a better position where they can shoot into those into the, ambushers, or you're setting up to do which battle drill? You're dropping off dudes to do battle
attack.
drill 1.
Well, once react to contact. Remember? We talked about this last time.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. 1 alpha, sorry. Sorry. I keep
Yeah,
forgetting they freaking changed all
they do. No, attack. You are
Yeah.
setting up to attack. Assault through.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying. Every time I say assault through, I mean attack.
Yes.
Attack by fire, baby. Get after it.
Yes. There should be no one left alive to tell the tale of you being there.
If anything else, just because screw you.
Yes.
Moving on. Battle Drill
Moving on.
5. Knock out a bunker.
Oh,
I didn't play with this one for too much, but I know
no.
that I remember it a little bit differently than what the Ranger Handbook has, but I like what the handbook's putting out in this. It makes a lot more sense,
Makes
honestly.
sense. Yeah.
So, Battle Drill 5. The unit is moving tactically, while conducting operations. The enemy initiates contact from a concealed and, probably up armored bunker network. All or part of the unit is receiving accurate enemy direct fire. Q, you start taking fire from a bunker. Sucks to suck, nerd.
Yeah.
And actions, you should probably kill that thing. Probably a good idea for
Oh,
you.
yeah. Suppressing
So how
fire.
do we do that? Hell yeah. So as in react to contact, right? So everybody in contact establishes a base of fire. They start suppressing the enemy. Get online, 3D, see cover and concealment, talking guns, all the things. At that point, your leader designates and directs an assault team to go and attack the bunker. Right? Covered and concealed route all the way to the very last bit of cover and concealment you can, scrap to. And at that point, that team is going to break off into a buddy team with team A or team one, let's say, staying in that last position of covering concealment, providing overwatch. Okay. Providing, suppression, keeping those guys covered. And by team two, moving to the last, the closest blind spot to the bunker as you can get. During this time, during that movement, of course, we're going to shift and lift fire. So your leader should be in a good point to where we can direct that, that team and the squad that is suppressing. And as that team breaks off, so buddy one's going to be suppressing, buddy two is going to cover the exit. So at the entrance, we're going to cook off a grenade, 2 seconds max, yell frag out, and throw it in the bunker, because screw you for being in that bunker, by the way. Once that cooks off and explodes, your buddy at the exit is going to immediately go in and lay down some hate, kill everything in there. Buddy with grenade follows him. After we clear that out, we're going to mark it per our SOPs. Lear's going to check it out, communicate with everybody, reconsolidate, and continue on.
Can't help but think every time I hear people talk about Battle Drill 5, I can't help but see Saving Private Ryan,
My gosh, dude, I
freaking
was just thinking
Band
that.
of
Yeah.
Brothers, The Pacific, every time, because those
Dude, the
bunkers were
flamethrowers. Like,
crazy.
dude, the pillboxes scare the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Like, that.
Yeah.
Like a slit in a mountain. And there's just a machine gun rolling out of there. Like, dude. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Yeah. But that's why when we're talking about suppress fire, we're not just loading, throwing rounds down range. We are trying to be accurate, right? Because
Yeah.
you could come up on a bunker where you have a foot wide by maybe a couple inches tall to shoot into.
Yeah.
Small and small, because they got a lot wider field of vision than you do.
Yes, they
It's
do.
miserable stuff. But
Moving on.
oh,
I mean,
well,
unless you have something else for it, because I think Battle Drill 5 is very folks, a lot of these battle drills are very much just a rebranding of Battle Drill 1 Alpha.
well, it's building on. It's building on
Yes.
off of Battle Drill 1. Like we said, like we continue to say, this is stuff that is instinctual. You should know all of this.
Hmm.
This should be automatic responses. So the foundational stuff builds off and up. But
Yes.
real quick, let's go ahead and take a word from our sponsor.
This podcast is sponsored by Blackbeard Firestarter. Blackbeard Firestarter has been our first choice in Firestarters since they introduced their Firestarter rope years ago.
Blackbeard offers their fire starters, their fire plugs, arc lighters, ferro rods, stormproof matches, everything you need to get a fire started.
Their products are made right here in the US, wind and waterproof, have an insane burn time. They're basically dummy proof.
And help you out, Blackbeard let us cherry pick from their store everything that we want, everything that we thought you needed to get a fire started, and we call it our Hard Time Strong Men Fire Kit. On top of that, they're also offering a 15% discount on anything in their store when you enter code STRONGMEN at checkout.
We can't recommend Blackbeard enough. They stand behind their products, and so do we.
Be sure to check them out at blackbeardfire.com and on Instagram at blackbeardfire. And as always, stay in the fight.
Stay in the fight. And now a word from our newest sponsor, Granite Rifle Group. Granite Rifle Group is a precision rifle company owned and operated by a USMC veteran. You've probably heard him on our show.
Granite offers turnkey rifle solutions built around your field use with plug-and-play upgrades available to tailor your rifle for your specific needs. GRG offers simple rifle kits or complete custom builds available to suit every need, from the weekend target shooter or hunter to the long-range precision rifleman.
Granite Rifle Group is all about putting high quality precision rifles into the hands of Americans to extend the reach of the American rifleman. And when you use the code STRONGMEN at checkout, you'll get 6.9% off your order. Nice.
Nice. Check them out at graniteriflegroup.com or find them on Instagram at granite_rifle_group_LLC. And as always, stay in the fight.
Stay in the fight.
All right, guys, we're back. So let's talk about Battle Drill 6, Enter and Clear a Room.
Here we go. This is... If you've ever been in the infantry, if you've ever been anyone who's taken mount training, this is your bread and butter. This is what everybody wants and fears actually doing.
It is
But
the
once you're in that
sexiest battle
situation,
drill.
mm,
Oh,
is it the sexiest battle drill? Entering
it's
and
in all the
clearing a
movies
room.
now. It is
Yes. It's in the
so
TV
good.
shows now too. I mean,
Yeah.
hell, there's even honestly, there's even a video game now where you pretty much just do this over and over again. Ready or not.
I feel like that needs to be. We need to find a way to make that an episode.
I,
Like
yeah,
the consequences of video games. Like as it has to do with
yeah.
training or doctrine or mindset. I feel like that's a really interesting concept or idea. It's really interesting to me.
Yeah. So we'll throw it on the list. Why not?
Real quick, before you get into it though, I just want to make a note. So SOPs vary. We are going off the Ranger Handbook. Battle 6 has many, many, many different variables. There are so many ways to skin this cat. There are hallways, short rooms, windows,
Yeah.
closets, stairs. And this is built off the doctrinal fire team. Personnel situations changed. If we're going off of the doctrinal fire team, it's going to look a lot different than if we had like our hunter killer team or platoon or company. I mean, like there's so many different ways to do this. Like you said earlier, doing it alone. Like there's so many different things that come into play. But this is the foundation. This is the doctrinal source, the idea. So take it for what it's worth. And if you need to build on it, build on it.
Here we go. So, Battle Drill 6. Friendlies are ordered to clear a room. There are probably known or suspected enemies in this room, or you take fire from that room. On a side note, if you're in a striker with a grenade launcher or a 50 cal and you take fire from a room, you're going to delete that room. In fact, you're going to delete that entire floor.
If you're my 320 gunner, if you're my grenadier, I shouldn't have to tell you to delete the room.
Yes. Those rounds
You
are
should
going
already be
through
doing that.
window. If it's a 2-story building, that second floor needs to become the first floor. I'm not joking, folks.
If you're a grenadier, and we talked about this in the roles, I think, your whole job is open areas and making cover concealment.
Yes.
That's what I pay you for.
Yep.
Use the boomstick, delete it.
To
When
absolutely race it.
if I am not like already by the door, if I'm getting shot through a window and I tell you to make it go away, when I go in that room, there shouldn't be a room anymore. I should be going in there just for posterity's sake. Do your job.
Hey,
Anyway,
we're getting shot at. Yeah, I know. Solve the problem. Okay. Boom.
boom,
All right.
boom,
Anyway,
boom. Anyway,
you're ordered to clear a room. There are known or suspected enemies in that room, or you take fire from that room. What are you going to do? The leader is going to direct the team to secure corridors or hallways outside the room. Team leader then takes a position in the stack, normally the number two man, but again, your SOPs may vary. And he'll do that to best control the clearing team outside the room. Your leader then gives a signal to clear the room. First dudes in, first two dudes into the room are almost simultaneously coming. Folks, I can't stress this enough. The first two guys need to be so far up each other's butts and they need to split that it almost seems like they came through the door at the exact same time. If you do it quick enough, if you do it clean enough, there is no stopping that.
so the way that we were trained, at least the way I was trained in my squad, you technically did. So the way that we
Yeah.
were taught to get in the stack, because this is what we're talking about. So getting in a stack, right? So when your leader sets you up, by the door, you're staying up off the wall a little bit because bolts travel across walls or perpendicular to walls, right?
And
Or
RPGs.
parallel rather in RPGs. Okay.
Yep.
Um, but you
Thank
should
you, Black
literally
Hawk
be
Down, for
able
that.
like you guys should be able to when you're in your stack, you should be able to squat down and be sitting on your buddy's leg.
Yep.
Like you should be literally that close
Yep.
together. And the way that
We call
we
it. That's a butt.
so our SOP did it. The lowest ranking dude is first. Sorry, private. Sucks to suck. Um,
You are the
you
bullet
should
crunch.
you should be someone else. And then the team leader. And
Mhm.
I did it that way because one, I need to know what's going on. Well, I was team leader, that's how I ran anyways. I need to know what's going on. And the way I would run it, so you're gonna talk about, what side everybody goes on. But the way I would do it, everyone's that close, right? Not to butt. And then I would have my hand, I would be holding on to his plate carrier, like at the nape of his neck with my one
Mhm.
hand. I'd have my
Yep.
rifle on my hand on his, or on his shoulder, wherever side facing the room. And then when we went in, I would just push him out of the way, wherever side I want him to go to.
Yep.
I just
That's yeah.
shove
No.
him, shove him over the way because that way we can both split off immediately because I'm already literally attached to him. I just like
Right.
no, go that way,
No,
and
that's
yeah,
that should be standard. That's the way we did it in every single platoon, every single team I've been in. Like
yeah,
that was doctrine. Like number two guy
cool.
is directing where the number one guy doesn't decide where he goes. Hell no. Like, you may have it in your mind of where you're gonna
There's a
go, but
reason. There's
base
a reason why you're the private.
yeah. Like that number two guy is going to direct you where to go. Like whichever way he wants to go, he's gonna direct you the other way.
they,
9 times out of
basically
10,
decides.
it's gonna be the way you don't wanna go. Anyway, yes, back to what we were saying. So, number one man enters the room, moves either left or right along the path of least resistance to one of two corners, assuming a position of domination facing into the room. During the movement, the number one man scans the sector and eliminates all immediate threats.
I know it's kind of cringy wording, doctrinally, but it is. You are taking domination of that area. Whatever is in front of you is dead if it's not,
Yeah,
a non-combatant. If it's a combatant, you make it go away. And then
yeah,
you are like that is your freaking life where you're looking at. Wherever your sector is, that is yours. You own it.
right. And so, yeah, typically, like you'll go into that room. n- So you're the number one man. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get pushed, not path of least resistance, but definitely some resistance, meaning you're going to button hook. You need to already have it in your mind that you're about to button hook because ain't no way that number two man's going to want to button hook. But regardless, you're going to turn that corner. You're going to scan high. You're going to scan low. You're going to scan the middle. You're going to get to that corner. You're going to turn and you're going to advance a little bit into that room. Because why? You get the hell away from the back wall to allow for more people to come in.
Get out of the freaking fatal funnel. Get out of it.
The fatal funnel we're talking
Everybody
about is the
dies in a
doorway.
doorway.
Yes. If you
Everybody who
freeze
stays
in
in the
that
doorway
doorway,
dies.
if you freeze in a doorway, I'm running you over. You are a
Well,
doormat now.
well, and think about it this way. So think about it from the defending point of view. Okay. So just the way that your eyes work. Okay. You are going to see movement first. You're going to react to movement first. So someone
Mhm.
busts open your door, right? Are you going to pay attention to the walls that are static? No.
Nope.
If you see movement through the doorway, you're going to start shooting that movement.
Mhm.
So anything that doesn't match the backdrop of your now open door goes away. So get out of the fatal
Yeah.
funnel.
Yep.
Also, you said they push in a little bit. Typically we would push in like halfway into the room.
Yep. Yep. Usually
And
usually the way we did it was anywhere from a third to halfway.
yeah, I know this one's tough to visualize, guys. I am going to put in the images for this that we have, per the Ranger Handbook, give you a little bit better of a visual. But you have to think when you go to whatever corner, whatever side of the room, you are taking like along the wall that you are, hugging all the way to the opposite corner. Like that sector, that triangle is yours when you're the number one, number two man.
Yep. So, number 2 man, typically the team leader, enters the room immediately. I can't stress this enough. Almost simultaneously. It needs to look simultaneously. After the number 1 man, heading in the opposite direction, which is usually the path of least resistance, so you're going straight in. Clears the sector of all immediate threats. Looks the same thing as the number 1. He goes in, looks high, looks low, looks middle, eliminates any threat in that corner. If there's nothing there, he immediately turns and advances up into the room. At the same time, this is not a quiet thing. This is not a quiet thing. This is very loud. Be calling out stuff. Like if there's a couch, couch. If there's a window, call window.
Door,
Hallway, you need to call
hallway.
hallway. Door, yes, anything. You see it, you call it out. Everyone coming in there needs to know what they're facing before they even get in there.
Reason being, right? So you are entering through a fatal funnel. That window that you see is also a fatal funnel.
Yes.
So dudes need to stay out of that immediate line of sight when possible.
Same thing with
Right?
hallways. Same thing with other doors. They're still fatal funnels.
Yep.
So number 3 man moves in the opposite direction of number 2 man. So he follows the number 1 guy in. Whatever direction number 1 man went, number 3 man goes that same way. He clears his sector, typically behind and more towards the middle of the room than number 1 man. You got to keep good spacing for all this. Got to. The number 4 man, this is your special guy. Number 4 man moves in the opposite direction. He follows number 2. He follows in number 2. Basically, you're gonna look at a line of dudes equally spaced in this room, scanning, just scanning and eliminating threats. Typically, if you don't have a follow-on team behind you, so if you don't have another fire team behind you to pull security, your number 4 man is going to then, as soon as he comes in, get out of the fatal funnel, follow number 2 man a little bit across the room. He's going to then turn around, take a knee, and pull security on that door. All friendlies need to be engaging and destroying enemy combatants. They need to be identifying non combatants and avoiding collateral damage. Guys, this is a no brainer. Non combatants need to survive. Like, I get it. You're going into a room, you're jacked up. You got to be able to discern between combatants and non combatants. But, if you don't want to avoid a war crime, just go ahead and do whatever the hell you want. Basically, guys, what you're trying to do with avoiding collateral damage is you need to try to preserve your intel. You need to try and preserve intel. You need to try and preserve the lives of non combatants.
Hearts and minds. Coin.
Hearts and minds. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I prefer, winning hearts and minds with lead, but, to just one in the head. Anyway,
And then after
team members will
it's all said and done, you're going to count off all the dudes that
Yep.
just rolled through there. We were taught not to count 1, 2, 3, 4 because it's easy enough to remember if that's not your language, or if it is your language, you'll like, oh, there's only 4 people. So
Yeah.
you designate whatever code for that: red, white, blue, America, states, whatever, just so that that everybody has an up. So when I say an up, that's your laser report, your liquids, ammo, casualty, equipment. Nobody's dead, everybody's okay. That's basically all that is.
Yep. And of course, once everybody's accounted for, your leader's going to call clear. And once they call clear, you're then going to mark your room per your SOP. With us, it was usually cracking a stick and leaving it there.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was like a wolf tail or a chem light or whatever.
Yep. Yep.
Then you
Usually,
reconsolidate and continue on.
yep. This gets a little hinky if there's doorways or hallways, because then you're going to get into some more fun stuff, but
I'll say,
still
dude,
nerve wracking.
hotels, apartment complexes,
Oh my
hospitals,
god.
like, so all of this, right? Because you have to think, all this is a couple seconds, and you're
Mhm.
taking all this information, right? And you're being loud, and you don't
Yes,
know
this is not quiet.
where the enemy is, right? In the room, let alone in multiple rooms. Okay, this is an extremely stressful job because all that stress, all that activity in just one room. Okay, good job, buddy. Go to the next one.
Yep. Yep.
Over and over and over again. Yeah,
Yep. Until the whole building is cleared. Yep. So we won't get into the nitty gritty of it, like high lows, rolling T's,
run the
all
rabbit,
that
any of
jazz.
that stuff. Like I
Run the
said, there are
rapid. Yeah.
so many SOPs, so many ways to skin this cat. Figure out what works for you. But the just this is keep your security, and you need to be in control of the entirety of the room.
Yep. Oh, probably one of my favorite things I've seen out of room clearing was that video you sent me a while ago. Camera angle was in corner of a room, doorway was straight ahead, but it was on this wall to your
Yeah.
right, off your right shoulder.
Mhm.
Dude glances in real quick, notes where
Yeah.
you are, and then immediately kicks in a chair because your eyes go to the movement. You're gonna go to that chair, and
He
as
pops
soon as
out.
that chair comes in, he pops out, and you are dead. Like, that is awesome. I immediately put that in my repertoire because that is like, yes.
Well, it's smart. It's really smart. Or, think about John Wick, the first one, when he gets all those assassins called to his house, and he's going through.
Mhm.
He's already killed a couple dudes. He knows one dude's around the corner, so he silently reloads and then drops the magazine. Dude rolls around the corner because he knows he just reloaded, gets shot in the head. Or I think
Yep.
I don't know if he got shot in the head or if he, if he fought him hand to hand. But yeah, I mean, super cool stuff. But another one I really like is watching how people like pie course, because I've seen
Mhm.
some dudes where if you have time, what I mean, like if you're doing like solo or buddy clearing, and you have time, where you can get a good 80-90% of the room without even going in. Like
So
I it,
the one thing I
there's a
don't
pretty cool
like
arc to
about
that.
that, yeah, the one thing I don't like about the whole, like, slow pie is, like, number 1 number 1, that is a fatal funnel. I get that you're trying to see as much of the room as possible, but if you're pieing that entire doorway, you're, like, you're
And then
gonna
the
get
whole time.
shot. Yeah, they know you're there, they know you're about to come in, they know what side you're now on. That's why I don't get the whole complete pie. It's like, you got one angle, cool, just go in my mind, just go in. Like, you've already seen a good 25% of the room just stacking. Just button hook. Clear the rest of it. In my mind, at least. Why take the extra, like, why put yourself at even more of a disadvantage by pieing the entire doorway?
I think because the
That's
idea
just me,
is
though.
that if you've already cleared it by with a slow pie, then you're kind of
Mhm.
eliminating those other areas. And then if you meet resistance, then you can assault through. You've already taken off however much percentage of the room.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I
who's
get it.
better
I
at
can
clearing a room
tolerate it.
than I am? a grenade. I'd rather work with that, honestly.
You know who's almost as good as at clearing a room as a grenade?
Cass?
The 240 gunner who just shoots through the walls.
Hell yeah.
Left to right, just clear it.
Just cut the whole room in half. Because screw
Yep,
you.
and anybody in there.
Oh,
Because once
and now
again,
for
the Geneva suggestions are just for the military.
it doesn't count for you because no one cares about you. You're a
That's
casualty
new.
if you lose.
Yes.
Any hoozle. Now
Yes.
for a bunch of asterisks, a lot of side notes. So, uh, yeah. So our SOB stated that if anybody had a malfunction in the stack, like as they're entering the room, you scream malfunction, you hit the dirt, you fix
Format.
whatever's going on with your rifle, and then you wait because you don't want to get shot in the back of the head while you guys
Yep.
are clearing or anything. So wait, a buddy will pick you up, and then you continue on. But that is the safest place for you to be if you have a weapons malfunction in the middle of clearing.
Honestly,
Because
yes.
all your buddies are following behind you. You don't want to be, keeping everybody stuck in a fatal funnel, and you don't want to be, up waiting to get shot.
Fun fact, if you're doing high intensity missions, like you stated earlier, use grenades. Surprise grenades. Frags, concussions, stuns, nine bangs, what have you. Use them.
Thermite,
There are
white
tools.
phosphorus.
Oh my god, that might be a bit much. But
That'd
you
be
know what? Screw it.
terrible.
That would be, dude. Holy crap.
The
CS
smoke,
gas. Oh,
smoke. Oh
you
my
know who's even
goodness!
better? Oh my god, throw a CS grenade in there. Oh my
And then
god.
throw a lighter.
Oh,
Yeah, Waco that.
wow. You went there.
Yeah,
All right.
room clearing
Anyway,
101.
if you're
Hey,
going to use
hostage
grenades,
rescue team at the FBI is really good at that.
dead bodies equate less paperwork.
They have awesome
If you're
KD ratios. Anyway,
if you're going to use a grenade, hook it 2 seconds max, throw it in and yell frag out. It doesn't matter if they know that a grenade's coming in or not.
because it's still coming
They are
in
going to be
and still a
so
grenade.
messed up. If they aren't dead, they ain't happy.
Yep. Pay attention to the building structure because, shrapnel and stuff.
Yeah. Or,
Anyway.
collateral damage, thin walls or floors. You can cause, like we were stating earlier,
Yep.
with the Mark 19, with the 320 gunners, with the 50 cals, thin walls or floors can cause damage to the structure,
And the
or it
only
can harm
people,
friendlies or non-combatants.
let's just say, the only people that get away with killing non-combatants is the FBI, and you aren't the FBI. So pay attention to
Or the
that,
CIA,
or the CIA.
or the
And if the
ATF.
number one or number two man in a room at short, those dudes yell out short or short room, and the other guys probably shouldn't go in there because it's probably a closet or once again a short room. So stay outside, pull security.
That's pretty much it. God, I love these battle drills.
That's all I got. Yeah, and that's the whole thing. And these are so easy to talk about, right? Because they build off of each other,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is once I say it all the time. This is something you should already know. You should already be doing, right? And if you're just learning this now, you can see that these are building off that foundation, right? So one thing
Yes.
that I see harped on online a lot is Battle 6 is so much more than just Battle 6, right? You have the approach, you have the building, you have all this stuff, right? But yet again, that's Battle 1 and 2.
Yep.
If you're ordered to engage a building or you take contact from a building, you're going to be ordered to engage a building or break contact, right? What do you do if you're ordered to engage it? You assault through. What's part of assaulting through in a building? Battle 6. I mean, this is
Battle
all
drill 6.
stuff. This is all, it all runs together. So if you have another way to skin this cat and you think it'd be good for everybody to know, shoot us a comment on IG, on Spotify, send us an email, whatever you want, and we'll we'll push it out for everybody. So until, what? Yeah, anything else?
No, no. Um, Above all else, I'm just going to emphasize speed, surprise, and outrageous violence of action.
Violence of action. Because not
I
only are you doing this for your life, but screw the other guy.
Oh yeah.
So until next time, guys, we are the Hard Time Shaman podcast, sharing up a better class of man patience. Make sure to stick around for your post show. Stay in the fight.
Stay in the fight.